Buying a residential zero-turn mower in 2026 is not as simple as picking the biggest deck and calling it a day. Because now you've got gas models, electric models, fabricated decks, stamped decks, dealer-only pricing, big box store pricing, suspension, seats, lap bars, steering wheels, battery claims, engine brands, and about 1,000 people online arguing about which mower is secretly junk. And here's the truth. Most homeowners do not need a commercial mower, but they also should not waste $4,000 or $5,000 on something that feels tired after 2 seasons. So today we're counting down 5 residential zero-turn mowers that actually make sense in 2026 based on price, deck size, comfort, power, warranty, and the kind of yard each one fits best. Before we start, I want to know something. How much grass are you cutting right now? Half an acre, 1 acre, 2 acres, or are you out there mowing enough land to question every life decision? Drop it in the comments. Tell me what mower you currently own, because I already know the comment section is going. Turn into Toro people, Cub Cadet people, John Deere people, and the Just Buy Used commercial. Mower crowd fighting for their lives. Now don't skip ahead, because the number one mower is not the cheapest one here, but for a lot of homeowners, it might be the smartest buy. The John Deere Z330R earns a spot because sometimes the safest choice is the one with the strongest dealer network behind it. And with zero-turn mowers, that matters more than people admit. A mower is not just something you buy once and forget about. Eventually you need blades, belts, filters, oil, tires, warranty, help, service, or accessories. And that is where John Deere has a major advantage. The Z330R usually sits around the $4,000 range for the 48-inch version, depending on retailer, dealer, and location. For that money, you were getting a 23 horsepower V-twin engine, a 48-inch axle deep mower deck, dual, hydrostatic drive, a 20-inch high back seat with armrests, LED lights, a front bumper, rear hitch, floor mat, covered storage, and a 3-year or 200-hour bumper-to-bumper warranty. That is a solid homeowner package. This mower is best for people cutting around 1 to 2 acres who want something comfortable, familiar, and easy to support locally. The 48-inch deck is also a smart size. It is wide enough to save time, but not so huge that you regret it every time you need to fit between trees, gates, sheds, or landscaping. Now, is it the toughest mower on this list? No. And if your yard is rough, steep, or full of thick overgrown grass every week, you may want to move higher up the list. But the Z330R makes sense for homeowners who value comfort, parts access, warranty support, and a mower that feels polished without jumping into commercial pricing. And I'll ask the John Deere owners watching this, is the dealer support actually worth paying extra for? Or do you think the green paint tax is real? Because the next mower gives you a lot of cutting width for the money. Cub Cadet Ultima ZT1 54 is one of the easiest residential zero-turn mowers to recommend for value. Not because it is perfect, but because the price-to-deck size ratio is hard to ignore. Depending on the engine version and retailer, the ZT154 usually lands around $3,800 to $4,200. For that, you get a 54-inch fabricated Aeroforce deck, a V-twin engine, dual hydrostatic. Transmissions, tubular steel frame, mowing speeds up to around 7 miles per hour. That is a lot of mower for a residential buyer. The 54-inch deck is the big story here. If you are mowing 2 to 4 acres of mostly open grass, that extra width can save real time compared to a smaller 42-inch or 48-inch mower. And the fabricated deck is another plus. Fabricated deck generally feels more serious than a thin stamped deck, especially if your yard has bumps, uneven spots, or the occasional hidden stick that shows up right after you swear you cleared everything. The Cub Cadet also has a comfortable enough seat, a clean frame design, and a look that feels more premium than its price suggests. Now, the trade-off is ride quality. This mower is not as comfortable over rough ground as something with real suspension. If your yard is smooth, you'll probably be happy. If your yard feels like a battlefield, your back may have opinions. It is also not the mower I would pick for serious slopes. Zero turns in general need respect on hills, and residential models are best on flatter ground. But for the homeowner who wants a wide deck, strong value, and a mower that can cut a big lawn without costing luxury money, the ZT154 deserves attention. And here's the question. Would you rather have a bigger deck and finish faster, or a smaller deck that is easier to control around obstacles? Drop your answer below, because that one decision changes which mower you should buy. Now the next mower is for people who want something that feels a little more heavy duty. The Ariens IKON 52 Kawasaki is the mower people bring up when they want a residential machine that feels tougher than the average big box zero turn. This one usually sits around $3,900 to $4,300 depending on the dealer and model setup. And the value is strong. You are getting a 23 horsepower Kawasaki FR691V engine, a 52-inch fabricated deck, a fully welded tubular frame, a high back seat with armrests, a foot-operated deck lift, and multiple cutting height positions. The reason this mower ranks above the Cub Cadet is the overall build feel. The Ariens IKON gives off that "I'm not here to play" energy. The frame feels serious. The Kawasaki engine is a major selling point for many buyers, and the 52-inch deck hits a nice middle ground. It is big enough for acreage, but not quite as bulky as some 60-inch machines. This is a great pick for homeowners mowing 2 to 4 acres who want a stronger frame, a respected engine, and a mower that feels more planted than many entry-level options. It also makes sense for people who care more about durability than flashy extras. Now, the downside, you are still not getting full commercial-grade everything. You are not getting luxury suspension either. So if your yard is extremely rough, comfort may still be an issue. And depending on where you live, dealer support can matter. Before buying, check who actually services Ariens near you, because a great mower becomes annoying if nobody nearby wants to work on it. But for the money, the IKON 52 is one of those machines that makes people say, okay, this feels like a step up. And I already know the Kawasaki engine fans are going to show up in the comments. So tell me, does engine brand matter to you, or do you mostly care about deck size and price? Because the next mower changes the whole conversation. No gas, no oil changes, no engine noise. The Ego Power Plus Z6 is the electric zero-turn that finally made a lot of gas mower people pay attention. And in 2026, it deserves a serious look. The 42-inch Ego Z6 with e-steer is usually around $5,300, while the larger 52-inch version can land around $700 depending on battery bundle and retailer. So no, this is not cheap, but it is very different from the gas mowers on this list. The 42-inch e-steer version uses Ego's 56-volt arc lithium battery system and is rated to cut up to about 5 acres on charge with 4 12-amp-hour batteries. It is expandable with more batteries, has the equivalent of about 22 horsepower, runs at 4 to 8 miles per hour, uses brushless motors, and gives you steering wheel control instead of lap bars. That last part is huge. Some people love lap bars. Other people sit on a zero-turn for the first time and immediately look like they're trying to land a helicopter. The steering wheel version makes the Z6 feel more familiar, especially for people coming from lawn tractors. The biggest advantage here is maintenance. No gas, no oil changes, no spark plugs, no engine filters, less noise, no exhaust smell. For homeowners who hate small engine maintenance, that is a serious selling point. But there is a catch. Battery range depends on grass height, terrain, blade speed, driving speed, and how many batteries you have installed. If your grass gets thick, wet, or overgrown, do not expect perfect marketing numbers every single time. Replacement batteries are also expensive, so the Ego Z6 is best for people who maintain their lawn regularly, have a suitable yard size, want a quieter mowing experience, and already like battery-powered outdoor tools. If you mow rough acreage, ignore your grass for 3 weeks, then expect the mower to destroy everything in one pass, gas may still be the smarter choice. But for the right homeowner, the Ego Z6 feels like the future without forcing you into a weak mower. And I need to ask, would you trust an electric zero-turn mower for your yard, or are you sticking with gas until the very end? Because the number one pick is gas-powered, comfortable, powerful, and probably the best all-around residential mower for most people with a serious lawn. The Toro TimeCutter Max MyRIDE 50 takes the number one spot, because it solves one of the biggest problems with residential zero-turn mowers. Comfort. A lot of mowers cut grass well enough. But after an hour bouncing across rough ground, your back starts asking why you did not just hire someone. That is where Toro's MyRIDE system matters. The TimeCutter Max MyRIDE 50 usually sits around $4,600 to $4,800 depending on dealer, sale price, and availability. For that money, you get a 50-inch deck, a 23 horsepower Kawasaki FR69V engine on the Max version, a fabricated iron forged deck, MyRIDE suspension, up to 7 miles per hour forward speed, 5-gallon fuel, tank, a steel tube frame, and a 3-year residential warranty. That combination is why it earns the top spot. The 50-inch deck is large enough for serious residential lawns, but still manageable around trees and landscaping. The Kawasaki engine is a major plus. The iron-forged deck feels stronger than what you see on many cheaper residential mowers. And the MyRIDE suspension is the feature people remember after using it. This mower makes the most sense for homeowners cutting 2 to 4 acres who want a strong mix of comfort, speed, cut quality, support, and durability without going all the way into commercial pricing. It is not the cheapest option, but it feels like the mower that gives you fewer regrets. Now, should everyone buy it? No. Your yard is tiny. This is too much more. If your yard is extremely steep, you need to think carefully before buying any zero-turn. And if you only care about the lowest price, the Cub Cadet may make more sense. But if you want one residential zero-turn that feels like the strongest all-around choice in 2026, the Toro TimeCutter Max MyRIDE 50 is the one I'd put at number 1. And if you own a Toro with MyRIDE, I need your honest opinion in the comments. Is the suspension actually worth the money? Or is it one of those features people only appreciate after their first rough mow? So those are the 5 residential zero-turn mowers I think are most worth buying in 2026. The John Deere Z330R is the safe, dealer-supported pick for 1 to 2 acres. The Cub Cadet Ultima ZT1 54 gives you a lot of deck size for the money. The Ariens IKON 52 Kawasaki feels tougher and more serious than many entry-level residential mowers. The Ego Power Plus Z6 is the best pick if you want quiet electric mowing with lower maintenance. And the Toro TimeCutter Max MyRIDE 50 takes the top spot because it gives homeowners a strong balance of comfort, cut quality, power, and long-term usability. But now I want to hear from you. Which zero-turn mower would you actually buy in 2026? And which brand do you trust most? Toro, John Deere, Cub Cadet, Ariens, Ego, or someone else? Drop your answer in the comments, especially if you already own one of these, because real owner feedback is always more useful than spec sheets. And if this helped you narrow things down, make sure you subscribe because we've got more mower rankings, lawn deer comparisons, and homeowner equipment lists coming next.